We've got an assessment of what is happening there on the ground. As we speak, the Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister is making a similar assessment. So is the LG in a different part. So is the Deputy Chief Minister in a different part. In Punjab, all cabinet ministers have also been deployed to frontline areas to make assessments on medical, fire and ration stock situations. Developments are pouring in as we speak. I'm going to try to get in our guests for a quick perception as well. I'm told the DGP of Jammu and Kashmir has now reached Kupwara, where we've seen a lot of shelling take place. There are new visuals emerging, which we will be showing on your screens. These visuals are indicating to us the actions that were conducted late last night, as more and more of these visuals come our way of the counter operations that India has conducted. We were expecting a press conference earlier this morning. That is yet to happen. We will apprise you on a time of if a rescheduled time comes our way. But as things stand, the CDS, the three service chiefs, the defense minister have been meeting in the defense ministry here in Delhi. We know that the Prime Minister was in the war room, which has been established through the course of the night, along with NSA Doval, tracking the developments. He is going to be briefed once again by the defense minister on what has happened. I'm assuming that some decisions have already been made. Some others will have to be made through the course of the day. I once again implore you to understand that we will only know what has happened hours after it has happened. We are not in a position to communicate what is going on real time. So if serious action has had to be taken, most of it has already happened at this stage. Further could be happening as we speak. We don't know, and we will only find out a bit later. Let me quickly open this up, because I'm trying to get my colleague Ajay back into this conversation with me. Let me meanwhile hop across, if I can, to Commander Dewan. Commander Dewan, I want you just to give me your assessment from what you have observed. We are not privy to what is being discussed and the real telemetry that has been discussed and the damage assessment reports that have come in this morning. But we have 100 million people who live in these border areas and cities, sir. So far, we have not, other than in Poonch, Rajouri, Uri, Kupwara, we have no reports of even a single civilian injury anywhere. What is that telling us, despite the attempt last night?
About the effectiveness of the Indian armed forces and
बोल दे
buttressed
कि
by
रिमोट पे लेंगे और
S-400
थ्रू कर देंगे
system,
असाइनमेंट को
Yeah,
नेशनल को
anti-air defense system that we have. It is just in time that we got this system with us for 2 years back, and we have been using it.
कर देंगे
Yes,
बस
forgive me, sir. Can somebody in my PCR crew will have to monitor this carefully and manage this. Carry on, Commander.
Yeah. I see another very important significance of S-400 being used now, our drones, Harop, Harpy being used now. The very important significance is, we all know Pakistan is a much smaller enemy and will be soon overcome by us. But China, which is a long-term enemy, now this is a test ground, live test ground. Operation Sindoor is a live test ground of the weaponry that we have, its effectiveness. Whether it's a Rafale, S-400, or our loitering munitions, and vis-a-vis HQ-9 air defense system of China, vis-a-vis JF-17. So this is a very important long-term lesson for us. Coming back to the current situation, the point is, logistically, as well as from the support from the local people, the Pakistani government, Pakistani armed forces are going to be outnumbered, and they have a broken house. They are trying to run a broken ship, which means what? If the war gets, this kind of operation gets over in 3-4 days, it is not good. It should be done slowly, in the halal manner, over 7 to 10 days, so that by that time, the Pakistan's fuel runs out, which is 7 days stock. Navy with naval blockade, it could be even less, and Pakistan's arms ammunition run out, and the disaffection, the severe disaffection and severe anti-army actions, whether from Baluchis, KP or POJK or Sindh, they pick up. So this is the thing for us.
I just want to pick your brain further, because on the information that I know you are privy to as well, and I'm privy to it because we reported it last evening. of what happened in the Gujarat ports yesterday. Blackout at Mundra and Kandla, berthing operations which were halted. All the ships in port were asked to switch off all their lights, and there was no movement allowed at that point of time. Now, these are of course ports in Gujarat, which is very near, not very near, that's as close to Karachi as you can possibly get. At the same time, we've been told this morning that in Maharashtra and Gujarat, that the Indian Navy has advised the fishing trawlers and fishing boats to stay away from deep waters. Now, we know that Karachi has been struck. I don't want to speculate on how, because I don't want to make a fool of myself like the Pakistani defense minister. So, we leave it for the Indian Army and the Indian Navy to come and tell us what has happened, but we know that they've been struck. So, given the puzzle piece of publicly available information, what do you think? Is there a sea front in operation as we speak?
Undoubtedly. I can recall my personal experience of participation in the 1971 war. Unless it is a three-pronged inter-service cooperation, Army, Navy, Air Force, I think any total war, which it is, cannot be won. And I must tell you that Pakistan with India has about 1200 kilometers border with J&K, about 1200 kilometers with Rajasthan, about 500 kilometers with Gujarat, and 400 odd with the Punjab. So the point is, we know it. In 1965, it was Kutch, which was used by then CMNA, Chief Martial Law Administrator, Field Marshal Ayub Khan, to attack us through a pincer attack with his patent tags. Of course, it was defeated. Every war, Pakistan has lost. So the point is, we have to be prepared and alert and cautious in all aspects. So what you're talking about, Mundra Port, where I've served as Senior Vice President in Mundra
Okay,
Port.
Forgive me for an interruption because I've got more breaking developments coming in. What you're seeing on your screens is infrared photography of the infiltration attempt yesterday. 2 attempts were made at the international border at Samba. You are seeing the retaliatory firing that eliminated at least 7 of these infiltrators. Now, we have used the word infiltration. You can easily use the word invasion, attack, whatever you want to use it, but we've used the terminology infiltration. The countermeasures were taken by the Border Security Force, which is currently, of course, manning India's borders. You are seeing repeated rounds that engaged at the border point, literally, where you can see the border fencing. You see a big board which is looking like it's white in color because, of course, it's infrared. And you're seeing the repeated engagements of munitions that are landing on the spot. They seem to be munitions that are larger than small arms fire. Deepak is going to tell us about this. Okay, Deepak, what do we know of what we are seeing?
देखिए, ढांढर पोस्ट पर ये पूरा जो मामला है वो देखा गया और सबसे बड़ी बात यह कि इस चीज को नकारा जा रहा था। पाकिस्तान को लेकर जिस चीज की चर्चा की जाती है कि वो आतंकवाद का जन्मदाता है, ये वीडियो वो बताने के लिए काफी है, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से पाकिस्तान की जो आर्मी है वो पीछे से बैक सपोर्ट करते हुए इनको भारत की सीमा में घुसेड़ने के लिए प्रयास कर रही थी और 2-2 बार ट्वाइस ये प्रयास किया गया उसके बाद। लेकिन जो हमारे जवान है बीएसएफ के, उनको जैसे ही टिप मिली और जैसे ही जानकारी मिली, इन 7 जो आतंकी हैं इनको मार गिराया गया है। ढांढर पोस्ट पे इनको मार गिराया गया है और लगातार इस तरह की चर्चा की जा रही थी कि जो ये संख्या बल है जो उसकी जानकारी नहीं मिल पा रही थी। लेकिन अब ये स्पष्ट हो गया है कि 7 ऐसे आतंकी जो भारत में घुसने का प्रयास कर रहे थे ढांढर पोस्ट से, उनको मार गिराया गया है। कहते हैं तस्वीरें झूठ नहीं बोलती। इन तस्वीरों में स्पष्ट है कि वो भारत की सीमा क्रॉस करके यहां एक बार फिर आतंकवाद को फैलाने की कोशिश करना चाह रहे थे और एक बार और नुकसान की कोशिश कर रहे थे, क्योंकि बाकी चीजों से तो लड़ नहीं पा रहे, ना एयर में लड़ पा रहे हैं, ना बॉर्डर पे लड़ पा रहे हैं, ना पानी में लड़ पा रहे हैं। लेकिन इस स्थिति में अब जो ये तस्वीरें बता रही हैं कि बॉर्डर क्रॉस करके भारत में घुसने का प्रयास कर रहे थे और एक बार जब विफल हो गए, जब दोबारा कोशिश की गई, क्योंकि जो पाकिस्तानी आर्मी है वो इनको पीछे से बैक सपोर्ट कर रही थी कि किसी तरह भीतर घुस जाएं, बॉर्डर क्रॉस कर ले। लेकिन हमारे जो बीएसएफ के जवान हैं उन्होंने सतर्कता दिखाते हुए बहादुरी का परिचय दिया और इन सातों के साथ को मार गिराया, इन सातों को मार गिराया। और ये एक बड़ी उपलब्धि है, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से लगातार, चाहे आप एयर की बात करें, चाहे बाकी जगह से जिस तरीके से बॉम्बिंग कर रहे हैं, चाहे फायरिंग की जा रही है, उसका मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया जा रहा है। आपको ज्ञात होगा बीती देर रात, चाहे जम्मू का इलाका हो, चाहे कुपवाड़ा का इलाका हो, चाहे दूसरी जगह, चाहे इतवारी का इलाका हो, लगातार जितने भी ड्रोन पाए गए सबको नेस्तनाबूद कर दिया गया, सबको मार गिराया गया। उन सब के बीच में यदि इस तरीके से अंदर भेजने की तैयारी की जा रही है, उन सातों को मार गिराया गया है।
ओके, सांबा